last but not least, I wanted to talk about time-sensitive scholarships. So you're like, well, aren't all scholarships time-sensitive? Yes and no. So there are some scholarships that are just kind of rotating. They just have like a open policy, and then when people apply, they evaluate and then they move forward. But for time-sensitive, I really mean based on when you want to study abroad. So this really goes down to looking at quarters or semesters, or if you are doing a longer term program, maybe you're doing a full degree program, then what does that actually look like? So this is going to be much more tied to when you actually want to study abroad. So there are some scholarships which focus on just students who want to study abroad during the traditional fall months. There are some scholarships which only have availability for students who want to do a Maymester. If you have not learned about Maymester, definitely watch the video that I'm going to link above for that. But you want to look at these time sensitive ones because this can be good, particularly if you are a student who you're trying to narrow down when do I want to study abroad, and you're like, hey, if I could get this scholarship during the spring, then I am off to France and I will see everyone later. So you definitely want to look at those time sensitive ones. Again, when you start out by reaching out to the contacts at your school, they will probably give you some of that information, but even if you don't end up getting any details back from them, look at that and see if that's going to impact you in any way. For some students, they don't really care that much about the time sensitivity. They're like, I'm flexible when I can go. But I know for a lot of students, they're like, no, I can only go in this semester or this quarter. Also, as well, if you are doing a full term, kind of long term degree, you're going to get your bachelor's abroad or whenever, then you definitely just want to look at the time sensitivity in terms of what the deadline is. Because for a lot of students, depending on where you're going to, what country you're going to, there may be one for the fall intake, which is the September to December, and then there may be one for the January intake. And so you want to be very clear about when those deadlines are. You can't just assume that because you apply and you get into the school and then you're like, hey, I want to start in January, that particular scholarship is going to be available. Sometimes they have specific windows of when that can be applied, and so you want to be very clear about that. So one of the things that I want you to do is, if you have not heard about the Fulbright Scholarship in particular, it is one that is time sensitive, but it also too is open to a lot of different citizens from around the world. So I want you to watch this video to learn more about Fulbright specifically. I will see you over there.